Hello there. Welcome to the first installment of my LifeNinja vlog. What is LifeNinja? Alright, this is going to be kind of difficult. You have to bear with me here. This is the first time I've ever attempted to do anything like this before. Some of you may have known I've been doing some food and fitness videos under Kung Food Cooking. So if you haven't checked that out yet, that's our nutrition and martial arts section of the blog. So if you want to take care of your body, please go over to YouTube, subscribe to Kung Food Cooking. You can click on the link right here, and that'll take you to Kung Food Cooking. But I decided that I want to create a more holistic approach to wellness. Okay, there's absolutely 0 point in exercising and eating right if you're a mess here and here. And you need to have wellness of the mind and the heart as well as the body. Okay, I'm going to attempt to eventually we will get to a place where we are not using words like spiritual and God. And I'm not. I want to be very clear here. I want to be very clear that I am not anti-religious. I am not anti-spiritual. I'm not anti-God. That has nothing to do with it. Okay? LifeNinja is an attempt to put out the programs that I have benefited from in a secular package to reach a wider audience. Okay? We will not be talking about chakras. Okay? We're not going to be talking about our third eye. We're not going to be talking about God. If you are the kind of person who is comfortable bettering oneself, bettering yourself in a spiritual way, good on you. You don't need these videos if you're doing it right. However, that said, I firmly believe that one can live mindfully and one can follow the discussion, that we're starting now with this series. One can implement the techniques in these programs, in this program that we're attempting to create, without ever compromising their religious beliefs. They are not, what's the word, mutually exclusive. Okay, you can be of any or no religion at all. I'd like to transcend that conversation. I'd like to go, we don't even have to stop there. We're just going to move past that, and, that's between you and whoever. Okay? The techniques for mindful living and for wellness in LifeNinja have nothing to do with religion. Okay, we are going to be borrowing some wisdom from, different contemplative studies. There are many different contemplative religions, contemplative practices, neuroscience, Buddhist meditation, Christian mysticism. But I personally have met, and I'm sure you have too, a plethora of people who are instantly turned off, to the point where they're making fun of and mocking. And it could be argued psychologically that the mocking comes from the nervousness associated with something hitting too close to home. But nevertheless, this is an attempt to take what the secular Buddhists have done, taking the mental practice of being aware, of focusing your attention into a secular life, away from the trappings, without the prayer beads, without the chanting, without the sutras, without the statues, without the Nag Champa incense. None of that, while however pleasant you might or may not find it, it's not necessary. none of those trappings are absolutely necessary at all, or even slightly necessary in order to achieve what they call nirvana. You just don't have to. You don't have to sit on a cushion to meditate. You don't even have to call it meditation. All right? And so what has been done by the secular Buddhists who practice the techniques of Buddhism but do not practice the religion of Buddhism. You can practice mindful awareness and be a devout Christian. You can practice mindful awareness and be a staunch atheist. All right? That's what we're going to do here. But what we're doing here isn't what's already been done. Okay, otherwise it'd be a little redundant, and the internet's full of stuff that I'm not doing this for my own satisfaction. While this is satisfying to me in a service work 12-step kind of way, I feel that something's missing. Okay, quick little segue here. I recently, in the last 3 years, became familiar with the 12-step recovery programs of Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. I had substance abuse issues in the past, as well as other issues that I didn't even know I had. And what I learned most importantly is that abstinence from whatever, fill in the blank, cocaine, whiskey, sex, overeating, abstinence from this compulsive behavior, this addiction, is not what makes one free of the addictive behavior. The substance or the action, whatever it is you're doing, the imbibing of alcohol, the overeating, compulsive anonymous sex, whatever it is, has been said, and I believe this, to be a symptom of the problem, not the problem itself. Well, if that's the case, what's the problem? And why segregate all these recovery groups around the symptoms if the problem, no matter what your addiction is, the underlying problem is the same one? And they refer to this problem as a spiritual malady, spiritual sickness. This person doesn't have God in their life, and if they just get God in their life, then everything's better. And I'm not knocking that. Okay, I'm not taking away from that. It works. I've seen it work. But I have empathy and sympathy for the people who aren't willing or able, however it may be, for whatever reason. I'm not judging them either, to make that kind of a commitment to a belief in a higher power that cannot be defined. We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. Like I said, this isn't an anti-religious program. This isn't a pro-atheist program. Okay. All I feel is I feel a number of things. The first one is that I feel that in the 12-step recovery groups, in the 12-step recovery program, the letting go to a higher power is essential for success in the program. However, I feel that we can, you and me, this whole experiment, this whole LifeNinja experiment, is an attempt to create a new language. Because I think we can redefine what it means to let go to a higher power. Our definition of a higher power might be different than the standard Christians. If you are, a standard, normal, I hate to use those words, but if you have no problem with believing in a higher power, a traditional higher power, a God, then and you feel like you need help with living a better life, overcoming some kind of a compulsive behavior, whether that be alcohol, drugs, whatever the case may be, then by all means, go to an AA group, go to an NA group, Go to Overeaters Anonymous or Sex Addicts Anonymous, whatever it is. It works. So I'm not trying to replace that with something else. If you believe in a higher power and you have no problems discussing things in the terminology of God, then go to AA. If, however, that's a major hang-up for you, and you still want to learn about 12-step recovery and how to live a whole life, maybe this would be the place to stick around. Then maybe you can join this conversation, subscribe, comment, and let's get a conversation going. Let's talk about this, because I truly believe that we can transcend the classical definition of higher power into something else, much in the same way that the secular Buddhists have benefited in their lives by using the techniques of Buddhism without practicing the religion of Buddhism. And so I feel what they did there, we can do here. We can take LifeNinja is the program used in 12-step groups, but we're taking the alcohol and the God out of it. LifeNinja is not just for people with substance abuse issues. LifeNinja is not just for people with God issues who have a problem, in that. So bear with me here. There's two things going on here. I want to be able to help people with substance abuse issues who have a problem with God. And simultaneously, the second part, and this is the bigger part, the much bigger part. So please, if I haven't lost you already, stick around, because LifeNinja is not just about overcoming drugs and alcohol. Remember, those are the symptoms of the deeper problem. What is the deeper problem? Well, the classical traditional 12-step groups would call it a spiritual problem. And I'd like to invent a new language. We're not going to talk about it as a spiritual thing, because that is something we can't talk about. If we could, then what would be the point of faith? We're going to talk about it, and we're going to find out, what is this problem? Okay? What is it that makes alcoholics drink? What is it that makes addicts use? And if you're neither, then there's a good chance you are neither. And that's fine. But I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet that the strong majority of you, myself included, okay, I'm no saint, have something going on, that the same thing going. We all have the same thing going on. And while some of us end up turning to drugs and alcohol because of that thing going on, doesn't mean we should segregate into different groups. Oh, we're alcoholics. Oh, okay, we're addicts. And I'm a normal person. My life's great. Is it? Really? Is that why you zone out in front of the TV for 6 hours every night? Is that why you obsessively, compulsively look at pornography? Is that why you tell yourself stories and believe them? Okay, so what is it? So Ben, what's going on? What is it that makes the alcoholic drink? What is it that makes the addict use? What is it that makes a person crazy? And if you don't think you're crazy, maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. But I would argue that if you don't think the world is crazy, then you're crazy. If you look around right now, you look around at the news, you look around at the world, people are losing their bloody minds. We're all like kids in the dark. We're not just talking about rape and murder and war. Just turn on your television, man. Just turn on and look at pop culture. Look at parent-children relationships. Look at your culture. What's going on? What's going on? And that's what LifeNinja is about. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to figure out, or at least attempt to figure out, what the underlying problem is, without just saying, we don't have God in our life. Okay, and I'm not. And I know that sounds like I'm coming across making fun of that, but I'm not. I'm not. Okay. Um, because I've seen that work. I've seen that work. If you authentically and sincerely believe in a higher power, and you follow the teachings in a moral way, not a hypocritical way, then you are probably a pretty stand-up person. I don't care if the atheists in the audience take offense to that statement. You can. We're not going to get into picking sides here, talking about how wars or wrongdoings caused by religions. That's not the point. Okay, groups are a grammatical fiction. There's no such thing as a group. A group is an assembly of individuals. All right, and I have never read a religious text that didn't say anything but good. So we're not going to go there. Okay, but maybe we can discuss that in the comments. If you have something to say, if you feel like I'm wrong, comment. Let's talk. I want to get this conversation started, okay? But this video is an attempt to just introduce to you me. My name is Ben, and the concepts of what LifeNinja is going to be about, what it is about, and so I believe this is that thought that came to me, and what started this whole thing was I was walking away from a meeting. I went to a 12-step meeting. And I had the thought, golly, wouldn't it be great, if you didn't have to wait until you had a problem to figure out how to live right. That's what this is about. All right. Because, like I said before in the video, and let me elaborate on it, abstinence from your addiction doesn't make you well. Okay, in AA they have the term dry drunk, and a dry drunk is a person who is still behaving and living and thinking in an insane manner, but is no longer drinking alcohol. Okay, so that's what we call a dry drunk. And if you take the alcohol out of the equation, if you just remove that, okay, and stop segregating our problems, and you just focus on the whatever that is, that behavior, that insane behavior, that is what the majority of us share. Some of us manifest it in more visible ways than others. It's the drunkard is a very visible externalization, an external manifestation of the insane thinking that the majority of us share. And I'm sorry if that upsets you. If I'm, who is this schmuck on YouTube telling me that I'm insane? But if you bear with me and you join this conversation, follow these videos, I fully intend on showing you just how insane you are. And takes one to know, and trust me, I'm bloody nuts. But we're gonna tackle this beast together, and we're going to figure this out. And I truly believe that we can all achieve wellness. All right, follow along the other videos for healthy recipes, good exercise. But we need mental and emotional wellness. We need mental and emotional balance. And there's already so many amazing and wonderful institutions out there for people who are comfortable with the idea of religion and spirituality. That is the reason why LifeNinja will not be packaged in that way, because it's already there. It's out there. If you want to live well and you have no problems with Eastern thought, then please, by all means, go and learn about Buddhist meditation. If you are comfortable listening to the melodic, beautiful, hypnotizing voice of Eckhart Tolle and his talk of the psychic pain bodies and these new age concepts, and it makes you warm and fuzzy, then, do it. It's already there. It's already there. It's all out there. This is for the rest of us, okay, who would never, I don't want to, I'm not making fun of the other stuff. Please understand, I'm not making fun of New Age. I'm not making fun of traditional religions. I'm not making fun of Christianity. I'm not making fun of, you know, airy fairy, Nag Champa burning, you know, whatever. I'm not making fun of that. But for those of us who, you know, the people in your lives perhaps who have would want nothing to do with that, you know, they associate it with other things. They associate it with a particular type of political view, or they associate it with a class of person, or whatever. That's what this is avoiding. Okay, this is for. This is started as an attempt to reach, you know, the average secular modern person. You know, it's been said that atheists can be moral, and they can. You don't need religion to be moral, okay? And you don't need religion to be well. You don't need it to have mental and emotional balance. And I'm going to, in later videos, I'm going to propose to you that the majority of the people on this planet are dangerously insane, way out of balance. That we are victims of our own minds, our storytelling minds. And we will get into this further in the next video. Our storytelling minds are our greatest asset and our greatest enemy. Okay, because it's nonstop. Recently, I watched this video, and the doctor's name eludes me right now, and so I really feel bad. Let me see. Look it up real quick. He coined a term called the obsessive-compulsive delusional disorder, and he said you will never see this in the psychiatric books describing all the different problems that one could be diagnosed with. And the reason you will never see it in the book is because the people writing the book have the problem, and so does everyone else. You know, the idea is, here we go. His name is Alan Wallace. Okay, brilliant. And we're going to post a link to his video here pretty quick, and have a video response to it, because it's an absolutely brilliant video. The idea of the obsessive-compulsive delusional disorder is that your mind is just going, and if you don't believe that that's the case, then try to not think about something. Now, if you're practiced in mindfulness, if you're practiced in meditation techniques, you're probably are able to do this, at least for a little bit. And if you aren't and you're able to do it, then you're a natural. Good on you. Chances are you have a very balanced and satisfying life. But for the rest of us, we are constantly seeking a distraction from our own minds. Constantly. The only respite we get is when we are engrossed in some form of entertainment that is so captivating to us that we're actually not spinning our wheels, so to say. We're watching television, and if you're actually watching it, then that's what you're paying attention to, and you're actually not thinking about tomorrow, that meeting coming up, or the bills you've got to pay next week, or that girl you let get away 7 years ago, or the thing you did that you shouldn't have, and past, future, worry, regret, just on oh, yep, I'm watching a show, and I'm just hanging on the seat. That's a distraction. And there's nothing wrong with movies and television, but it is a distraction. And it's almost pathological how many hours the average American spends watching television. Why is that? Because it's so great, it's so fun to watch, you know, it's really entertaining. I'm sorry. I've watched Storage Wars and Duck Dynasty, and it's really not that great. It's not great. It's not better than some of the other options out there. It's a distraction. Okay. Idle talk. Just idle talk. Talking for the sake of it. Distraction. Gossip. Distraction. Video games, to the point where not just it's a distraction. Alcohol. Distraction. Drugs, If you can't get a break from the insane mind, let's just obliterate it for a little bit. And so on. Okay, so now I think you're starting to see where we're going with this. And we're going to get more into the obsessive compulsive delusional disorder in our next video, and then we're going to take a look at what would the 12 steps look like. We're going to describe what they look like, you know, in the traditional substance abuse recovery programs, and then, well, what would they look like to us? Let us take them and translate them one at a time. We'll do one video on each step. And why, if I haven't made myself clear, why are we doing this? It's because not only did I have that thought when I was walking away from that meeting that, you know, wouldn't it be nice if you didn't have to wait until you had a problem to learn how to live right? Because, okay, and that's why are we doing this? Because you don't learn how to be abstinent from alcohol in Alcoholics Anonymous. You don't learn how to be abstinent from whatever your drug of choice was in Narcotics Anonymous. Okay, that's easy. That's easy. That's just, you just don't do it. You just don't pick it up. You just don't. Okay? What you learn in the program is how to live in a way that doesn't require you to obliterate your own mind. And so, if the runaway mind is what is referred to as the spiritual malady, the spiritual sickness, the underlying problem that causes the substance abuse problem, then it's the same underlying problem that most of us suffer from. It's why we're constantly trying to distract ourselves from our own minds. Well, Ben, what happens if we are unsuccessful in distracting ourselves? What happens? Well, two things can happen. All right, you can overcome it, and you can be present, and you can live a mindful life that is rich and whole, and it's not necessarily great and happy. And see, that's one of the things you see it, you know, in these recovering addicts. They second, third year, they start to, oh wow, you know, I mean, I'm really good. I'm not like bouncing with energy, happy. I don't know why I'm good. I just feel good. That's called serenity. That's called peace. That's the balanced wellness that this is all about. Okay? That's what we were going for with the food and the exercise with Kung Fu. Now that's what we're going for in our heads and our hearts. Okay? This isn't about how to be happy all the time. Bouncing with joy. It's how to not have to ride that roller coaster of ups and downs that comes with the insane mind. When you are a slave to your insane mind and you don't even know it. You know, not only do you have that mental, emotional roller coaster constantly going up and down, depending on the situation and the circumstances of things that are completely out of your control. Things are going my way, I'm happy. Things aren't going my way, I'm mad. It's ridiculous. It's insane. Okay, there's only so much in your life that you can actually control. Serenity is about doing what you can and accepting what you can't. And you don't have to have a drinking problem or a cocaine problem to benefit from that. That was my thought. You don't have to have a problem to benefit from this program. The program that I received from, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, and I came to it from not a Christian way, but a Buddhist way. I went to a Buddhist recovery program. And what I got out of it wasn't just not drinking. I remember even saying once at a meeting, I just wanted to quit using. I didn't want to change. But the truth is, the change is what makes you healthy. The change is what makes you well. The drugs and the alcohol, that's just a symptom of your sickness. And what is the sickness? It's the runaway mind. It's the runaway mind. So the runaway mind not only puts us on this roller coaster of ups and downs because, you know, you're insane and you think you're in control. So when something happens out of your control that wasn't the way you wanted it to be, you're actually going to be upset. No other animal on this planet does that. No animal gets upset because something didn't happen the way it would have. Well, if I was in control, if I was the director of this play, if I was God. We suffer because we suffer. An animal can get, ow, my paw hurts, I stepped on a nail, or I'm being killed by a predator. That hurts, it's painful, and it sucks. But humans will get mad because they're mad. You know, you step on a nail, and you don't just feel the pain of the nail in your toe. Well, then you, who the bleep left this nail here? Really? Really? So in addition to all that, a runaway mind can only exist in its domain, and that is the domain of make-believe. So what's real now? What's make-believe? The past and the future. The past, okay, it's a simplification to say that the past is make-believe. We'll get to that later, but it's not real, it's not now. It's over with. Your memory of the past is in the mind, and that's make-believe. So the storytelling mind, probably our greatest evolutionary asset, enabled us to, it was probably our that and the opposable thumb, perhaps, most fantastic adaptation survival strategy ever, the ability to tell a story. Well, yeah, we'll get further into that as well, because it enabled us to hunt, it enabled us to pass on information, so the wheel didn't have to be reinvented every generation. Our storytelling mind tells us a story about you. You're telling yourself a story about who you are based on your past, mind stuff. And worse than that, you believe it. You have a thought. You tell yourself a story associated with that thought, and then you believe it. So the first post that I put on LifeNinja's Facebook wall was, pro tip, just because you have a thought doesn't mean you have to believe it. And I'll leave you with that little piece of information. Thank you for watching this introductory video to LifeNinja. Please subscribe. It's key. Subscribe to the videos, and you will get notifications. You will get updates. Every time we put out another segment, this is going to be an ongoing conversation. I want you to be involved in it. Okay? I don't want to preach. Comment. Email me. Like us on Facebook, send me an email, subscribe to the videos, and let's go on this little journey together, okay? And check out Kung Food as well for our fitness and our exercise and our nutrition. And you know, I'm not perfect, so you got some good ideas, you got some links, send them my way. Let's just get this stuff out there, and I know that we can all be happier, healthier, you know, more sane. You know, saner. Let's just do it, you know. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon.